Hi, good day everyone. This is Teacher Mark and we will now be conducting our business mathematics lesson. So we will now proceed with our new lesson, and that is regarding ratio and proportion. I will give one concrete example of ratio and proportion, and that is regarding marriage. Okay, I know most of us want to be engaged in marriage. Even me, I'm still not into marriage life because I'm a breadwinner of my family, and I need to provide the basic needs of my 7 brothers and sisters. So, getting on with marriage is the most unusual thing we need to plan, no, as early as possible. So marriage is not only all love 24/7. So, but it also involves careful planning, no? Most especially when dealing with the number of children you want to get inspired by every day, you know, and how much you could provide them with their basic needs like foods, shelter, education, etc. Although there are many things that we need to consider, you know, let us just focus on one area in this lesson, and that is regarding family financial stability. So this comprises 2 essential things: the family quality of life, and the number of family members. So the best quality of life that the parents can offer to their children constitute a lesser number of children, and the enough quality of life that the parents can offer to their children constitutes a more number, or constitutes parents having a more number of children. Okay, I want you to listen because later we will be having an activity. Okay, this is a story of my friend. Mr. and Mrs. Luphan were classmates since high school up to college. They settled when both of them graduated and got a job at the age of 21. In their first 5 years of marriage, they got 2 children, and they hold the most ideal job. Mrs. Emily Luphan is a supervisor at a department store. Mr. Roderick Luphan is a businessman, and he owns a restaurant since he graduated as a chef. Their quality of life is above the standard. Quality of life shrinks when they reach 2 years of marriage. The family members increases. At the start, it was 4, but now it was 6. Meaning, another 2 children added after 10 years of a healthy relationship. The worst when the pandemic happens. Mrs. Luphan lost her job and forced to resign at 31. While Mr. Luphan, his business went bankrupt because of the ECQ imposed by the government of the Philippines. All they have now during the home quarantine is their small savings. After 3 months of home quarantine, their savings almost went empty. Plus their marriage goes blunt. Mrs. Emily Luphan compelled to work in a pharmacy accepting cashier job with minimal pay, while the husband forced to apply for a foreign job. But things went worse when Mr. Luphan jailed in Europe because of the undocumented immigrants. So it was the sister of Mr. Roderick Luphan supporting the family of his brother, including her own family. The family of Mr. Roderick Luphan has 4 children, while the sister of her has merely 2 adopted children. It took another 5 years for Mrs. Emily Luphan to wait for his husband's release. They are pleased of the sister, for during the time of crisis, it was the sister who boldly gives supplementary support to the family of his brother. Okay, so let's now summarize the story. So let's focus first on the first paragraph. As you observe in the first paragraph, it says there that the mother is a department store supervisor and the father owns a restaurant business. And on that time, they are just having two children. And so, as based on their jobs, no, so we are expecting that they receive bigger salaries. So we are also expecting that they receive a bigger share, no, or a bigger proportion each, no. So as you observe in the pie, no, so pie represents their family financial stability, and as you can see in the slices, they are receiving a bigger share, no, bigger proportion each. So on the first slice is the mother, on the second slice is the father, and on the third and fourth slice are the two children. Okay, so as you can see in the second paragraph, let's try to look at the situation. So the mother lost her first job and later become a cashier receiving cheap salary. And also the father become bankrupt due to the pandemic. And later after ECQ, he returned to business but started back to zero. And also the children was added here, no? So on the first they had two children, but now they have four children, no? So at this as you observe in the pie, the family financial stability becomes smaller due to the situation stated on the second paragraph. Okay, so as you can see on the third paragraph, try to imagine two families sharing the same budget. Okay, so the family of Roderick has four children and the sister of Roderick has two children. So therefore, as you observe in the pie, so the family financial stability is getting smaller and smaller. So as you observe there, they receive the smallest share. Okay, let's now identify the different kinds of proportion as based from the story. So in the first paragraph, four family members have a bigger share or bigger proportion per pie. So this is an example of direct proportion wherein it states that if X quantity increases, Y quantity also increases. There are also other instances not related in the story wherein if X quantity decreases, Y quantity also decreases. On the second paragraph, 6 family members have enough share or enough proportion per pie. So this is an example of indirect proportion wherein it states that if X quantity increases, Y quantity decreases. There are also other instances not related in the story again wherein if X quantity decreases, Y quantity increases. On the third paragraph, 2 families conjoin in just one budget. So this is an example of partitive proportion wherein if a given whole is to be divided into several parts given a specified ratio. Okay, so let's now relate the concept of ratio and proportion in the story. So given in the first paragraph, a family of 4 members for 30,000 pesos per month allotted income receives. So M here represents the monthly share of each allotted member of the family. So in the solution, several family members allotted budget per month is equal to the amount per member expected to receive. Amount of conjugal income received per month. So this can be interpreted in ratio and proportion form. 1:4 is equal to M:30,000. So 1/4 is equal to M/30,000. So you cross multiply, so we have 30,000 multiplied by 1 and 4 multiplied by M. And then, so in order to remove the coefficient in the variable in algebra, so we will get the reciprocal of the coefficient, and the coefficient here is 4. So the reciprocal of 4 is 1/4. So you multiply 1/4 both sides. So 1/4 multiplied to 30,000 pesos resulted to 7,500 pesos. So this is now the monthly share of each allotted member of the family. Okay, in second case in paragraph 2, given a family increases additional 2 child, therefore from 4 members before it becomes 6 members at present for the same amount of 30,000 pesos per month allotted income received. So again, M here represents the monthly share of each allotted member of the family. So in the solution, as the number of family members increases, each to allotted budget per month becomes lesser, is equal to amount per member expected to receive each to amount of conjugal income received per month. So this can be interpreted in ratio and proportion form. 1:6 is equal to M:30,000 pesos. So 1/6 is equal to M/30,000 pesos. So you cross multiply 30,000 times 1 is 30,000 is equal to 6 multiplied by M is equal to 6M. So you divide both sides by 6 to remove the coefficient. So it resulted to M is equal to 5,000 pesos. So each member of the family will receive 5,000 pesos. Okay, in the third case in paragraph 3, 2 families sharing one budget amounted to 30,000 pesos. So given a family of 6 before, now adds another family of 2. Since the sister of Mr. Lubhan has 2 adopted children, has continually support amounted to 30,000 pesos combined income per month. So again, M here represents the monthly share of each allotted member of the family. So 1:2 is equal to M:30,000 pesos. So 1/2 is equal to M/30,000 pesos. You cross multiply, so 30,000 multiplied to 1 and 2 multiplied to M. So we got 30,000 is equal to 2M. So you divide both sides by 2. So we got the monthly share of each allotted family. So each family will receive 15,000 pesos. So the family of Mr. Lubhan and the family of his sister. Okay, so in Roderick family, so 1:5 is equal to M:15,000. So 1/5 is equal to M/15,000. Cross multiply again. So 15,000 multiplied to 1 and 5 multiplied to M. So we got 15,000 is equal to 5M. You divide both sides by 5. So we got M here is equal to 3,000 pesos. So this is the monthly share of each allotted family members. Okay, for Mr. Lubhan's family. So each member of the family will receive 3,000 pesos. For his sister's family, so we got 1:3 is equal to M:15,000. So 1/3 is equal to M/15,000. You cross multiply 15,000 multiplied to 1 and 3 multiplied to M. So we got 15,000 is equal to 3M. Again, divide both sides by 3. So we got M is equal to 5,000 pesos. So this is the monthly share of each allotted family member of his sister's family. So family planning is crucial once you enter into marriage life. No family planning is putting yourselves into a marriage free. Also, setting the lives of your innocent children into troublesome situations. Yes, we don't hold our future, but we can avoid this, as they say. Early prevention is better than miserable life. Okay, so before we proceed to the next activity, I want you to read this definition on the screen. So these are some of the examples of the different kinds of proportion, and I want you to provide your own example later. So for direct proportion, example number 1, the more you save, the more you are secure financially. Number 2, the lesser you buy material things, the lesser you spend. For indirect proportion, example number 1, the lesser member in a family, the bigger is their share. Number 2, the bigger amount you corrupt, the poorer is the country will be. And for partitive proportion, example number 1, the more partners you take, the bigger is your responsibility in the life of others, and it depends on your productivity on how complicated it will be. Example number 2, financial freedom depends on how much you save today and yesterday. So now, in the module, I want you to answer the exercises there, and if you have questions, just click on the link below. Okay, so now, did you understand the different kinds of proportion? How do you apply it to real life situations? Okay, let me see. So in the module, there are exercises there. Please answer that.